This is the year 2007. Today, when a lot of people think about Pakistan, they think of a society entrenched in violence and religious extremism. However, no one seems to talk about the most widespread and important social and religious institution in Pakistan, Sufism, an ideology which is based on harmony and tolerance. This is Data Darbar, situated in the second largest city of Pakistan, Lahore. It is the shrine of Hazrat Data Ganj Bakhsh, one of the greatest Sufi saints who lived during the 11th century. In a single day, hundreds of thousands of people come to this shrine to seek spiritual replenishment, ask for forgiveness, beg for success in life or for some loved one's health, or just to say thank you for a prayer that got answered. They believe, correctly or incorrectly, that whatever they ask here will be directly delivered to Allah by Hazrat Data Ganj Bakhsh. This is not just a story of this shrine. This theme is common to thousands of small and big shrines located in all corners of South Asia. Such is the extent of the influence of Sufi tradition in Pakistan. Out of Pakistan's 160 million Muslims, a majority is connected to one Sufi tradition or the other. Sufism is the name of mysticism and spiritualism in Islam. It is not a sect that differentiates one group from the other, but a way of thinking. Sufi thought started taking its roots in Iraq nearly a millennium ago. The basic philosophy of Sufism is about going to all ends to become God's beloved. A practitioner of Sufism forgets about everything else and just tries to emulate God's attributes and follow His teachings so that he could reach Him. Sufism is more visible in the lives of South Asian Muslims as compared to Muslims in other regions of the world. Perhaps this is because most of the local residents who converted to Islam in the middle centuries did so under the influence of Sufi saints. This is the Bari Imam Shrine in Islamabad. The man is going to touch the fire to get the blessings of the saint buried in the shrine and hence eventually get God's blessing. He perhaps belongs to a village or a family that was converted to Islam by the saint buried in this shrine centuries ago. Even in death, saints remain many individuals, families, and tribes linked to Islam and Allah. Customs such as touching fire or singing and dancing at Sufi shrine festivals is what earns Sufism the condemnation of Muslims with a more Puritan understanding of Islam. For them, Sufism is a blasphemous tradition that thrives on superstitions. However, the popular practice of Sufism in Pakistan must be distinguished from the rich theory of Sufism. Sufi saints have left a large intellectual heritage. Most Sufis were introverted mystics, but some of them were writers, poets, and even singers. They preached and practiced religious tolerance, reforming oneself and finding God through individual effort. In South Asia, the devotees of Sufis are not just Muslims or people who have converted to Islam. In fact, due to their non-discriminatory message, a large number of Hindus and Sikhs also venerate Sufi saints. To understand the teachings of Sufism, we talked with Qazi Abdul Ghani, a renowned scholar of Sufism.
The sword played no part in the spread of religion, but Islam did not spread by the force of the sword. It was spread by people of spiritual understanding, the saints. It is a state of mind in which man considers himself humble, nothing more than amongst the most creations of God.
Sufi institutions perform an indispensable role in the Pakistani society. They are the primary source of hope for a society that is poor and feudalistic. People flock to shrines hoping that their sins would be forgiven or their troubles would be removed. For women, Sufi institutions provide opportunities to participate in religious and spiritual life, as normally women in South Asia cannot pray in mosques. For the poorest of the poor, the shrines are a source of daily sustenance. As the embodiment of the principle of generosity, widely propagated by every Sufi saint, there is a daily ritual of distribution of langar, food, as charity, sponsored by the wealthy. The poor and the homeless have in this way received many much-needed meals. Some shrines even have institutions of learning attached to them, where young children learn to read and write and get basic Islamic education. While most of the people are attached to Sufism by way of tradition, belief, or what some may call superstitions, the intellectual influence of Sufism and its effect on the overall psyche of the people cannot be denied. We talked to Yasir Abbasi, a farmer who is a regular visitor at the Bari Imam Shrine in the outskirts of Islamabad.
Sufi saints said, "Fix yourself and the whole world would be fixed." They were not ordinary people, they had a very deep understanding of things.
For all its merits and demerits, Sufism remains an integral part of ordinary life in Pakistan. It is deeply embedded in the social structure of the society and greatly influences the way people live their lives. The Sufi thought and Sufi institutions in Pakistan deserve much more attention and study than they are currently getting, for they could be used to bring development to people and also to positively influence people's thinking by reminding them of the original Sufi message.